It's GameCube Index, and this week my son Lucas is here to tell me about his favorite superhero. Who's that on the box?
Me.
SpiderMan?
Yeah.
What color is SpiderMan?
Blue.
I don't think he's blue.
Yeah.
When I was 11, the first of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films was released, starring Tobey Maguire, who shares my birthday. And let me tell you, it was the coolest movie I had ever seen, with the exception of Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. Clearly, a video game based off of this wonderful film has got to be great, right? Spider-Man roughly follows the events of the movie while throwing in some other Spider-Man mainstays such as Vulture or Shocker. But it's not just the story that follows the film, but the whole package. While Driven or Agent Under Fire may play looser with the rules or went with the generic inspired by the events of vibe, Spider-Man almost feels like you're playing the movie. This is certainly helped by the voice talents of Tobey Maguire and Willem Dafoe, who recorded lines specifically for this game. It's a level-based beat-em-up, so the entire thing is pretty linear, but the outdoor area makes it feel like so much more than it really is. The entire island of Manhattan has been recreated from a bird's-eye view, giving you ample space to swing on some webs. You can go fairly high, a story or two above the tallest skyscraper, and you can go surprisingly low to the ground as well, but if you get too close to ground level, Spidey bails out and dies. Thankfully, it's pretty hard to fall to the street, so it's not really an issue that many players would encounter. I will say that in this day and age of 2016, beat-em-up combat has been ruined for me by the Arkham series. Combat in Spider-Man feels incredibly stiff, as he doesn't automatically dodge out of the way of enemy strikes and gunfire, so oftentimes a death feels like you didn't even try. Combos lock onto characters in strange ways, so when you pull off an acrobatic combo move, the animations look strange and out of place. I chalked this up to some more of the perpetual camera issues, as the larger the play area, the less issues I ran into. Now, speaking of camera controls made out of garbage, let's talk about the garbage camera controls. It's all regulated to the C-stick, however, you are not given complete control. There's no way to quickly switch the camera behind you as there is in most 3D games. Players can move the stick left or right to rotate the camera, as long as there isn't a wall in the way, which is constantly. Indoor levels are small and cramped, and usually result in bad viewpoints and accidental wall crawls because you're trying to avoid the spray of bullets and got stuck in the ceiling. Now, with all of this being said, graphically everything looks amazing. The visuals look really great, and the cinematics especially are really nice. It's pretty easy to look good when you're just in a spandex suit. I mean, Spider-Man isn't incredibly detailed after all, but the 3D models of Maguire and Dafoe look like Maguire and Dafoe. I guess it's to be expected, as the game was developed by Treyarch back before they jumped into the Call of Duty franchise. Now, looking back, Spider-Man, sometimes referred to the movie The Game, was received really well by critics and players at the time, even considering the camera and some issues with Tobey's voice acting. The movie, as I'm sure you know, turned into a trilogy, and then, as of the time of this episode, got rebooted twice, resulting in 5 more movies, as well as 14 more video games based on these properties, and the superhero as a whole. Bye, buddy.
Bye, baby.
That is it for this week's episode of GameCube Index. If you enjoy the videos every week, consider backing us on Patreon. Even $1 a month will do a lot to support the project and help improve the experience. It's entirely up to you. Either way, please continue to show your support by subscribing, sharing, following along on Twitter at GCNdex and at GCNdex.com. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time when we embark on a quest to save a kingdom in Lost Kingdoms.